Well, hi. It is October 15th, 2024, and time for another morning coffee. I'm Todd Studer, and glad that you could join me this morning. And today's coffee cup, well, yesterday being my dad's birthday, it got me thinking about some things. And last year, I took part of my dad's ashes to New Mexico, where he grew up. He spent a good part of his childhood in Bloomfield, New Mexico. So he had wanted to go again, so I thought, well, the least I can do is get part of his ashes there. And so that's what I did. And while I was there, I was able to take in a few tourist areas, one of them being Monument Valley. And something that I learned, most people probably already know this, that this is not owned by the United States. It is owned by Navajo Nation. And when I went there, that was something that I learned. And a lot of movies have been filmed there, including, well, take a look at this scene. This happened as I was driving away from the park, and I noticed a lot of people were standing and taking pictures, and I said, well, where am I? And I looked in my rearview mirror, and I suddenly realized where I was. This was the road that Forrest Gump stopped running on. And I'm just driving along, not paying any attention. So as soon as I saw the people, I pulled off and took a picture. And it was just a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Did that in July of last year. So this coffee cup this morning coming from Monument Valley. And it is kind of strange when you try to read it. It's just got so many large font words on it that you kind of have to turn it around, but still, it's a pretty cool coffee mug. This morning, I want to talk a little bit about a semi-pro soccer team that is in town called the CB Captains, and they are playing a lot of games up at Kern Park. If you follow me on social media, you know that Kern Park is one of my favorite places to walk in town. There's an old cinder track that goes around the park, and it is like reminiscing from when I was a kid. When I was a freshman in high school, nearly every track that I ran on was a cinder track. Still had the old long metal spikes for shoes that we ran on with this thing. I didn't run on an all-weather surface track until I was a sophomore, but that's one of the things that I love about this place. And CB Captains soccer is playing on this field, and it's a semi-pro team, as I mentioned, so the players aren't getting paid. But I had an opportunity recently to talk with Taylor Stanton. Taylor is the president of the CB Captains Football Club, and I asked him, where are your players coming from?
They're coming from local. That's it. Whenever I moved up here, I noticed that there was a lot of local talent that was just kind of thrown to the side. And it frustrated me because there is a lot of local talent here in the Omaha Metro, CB, Omaha, even further west if you choose. But one of the cool things about it was, you saw this untapped talent. And you have very, very cordial players. You have yes sir, no ma'am, yes sir, or no ma'am, yes, no ma'am, things like that. Yeah. And that's something that a lot of professional clubs are looking for. Looking for people that are going to buy into a system and not try to rummage things around. But the things that I noticed here is, we have some of the greatest talent, but just not looked at for some reason or another.
If you'd like to be able to follow the CB Captains, you can do that online. They have a Facebook page. Here, look, CB Captains Football Club, and you can just follow along with that and find out when they're playing and where they're playing. As we said, a lot of games being played at Kern Park, which I think is really neat because that facility getting use again and getting some high-quality use because, as Taylor talked about, these are really good players, and it's a very high quality of soccer. Taylor himself, a former professional soccer player, so he knows what he's doing. And if you would like to hear the entire conversation or see the entire conversation, you can find it right here where you're watching this show, whether it be on Facebook or on YouTube. And just look for Campfire Conversations with Taylor Stanton. And that one was shot in front of a fire out by the acres as well. When I was sitting down today and I was trying to think of, well, what is it that I'm going to talk about? There's plenty to talk about in our community because there is just so much going on. And one of the themes that a lot gets brought up a lot anytime that I'm either doing this or anytime I get a chance to speak about Council Bluffs is how much pride I take in this community and how much I enjoy living here. There is so much excitement going on, and Taylor talked about it in that podcast, that there's a growth and an excitement happening in Council Bluffs right now. And you can just take a look at some of the different things that are going on. There's new construction happening down at River's Edge, and things are going up. There's talk of more construction going on around town, new housing developments that are going to be starting. The growth is happening right now in Council Bluffs, and getting behind it, I think, is really, really important. I've seen too many towns in my career that just withered up and died because people were just wanting to keep the status quo and not wanting things to change. Things do need to change because that's how growth happens. And I think that the leadership that we have in place over at the Council Bluffs Chamber of Commerce, there's an entire new staff there and a new CEO. Everybody, leadership, all up and down the board with the chamber is all brand new. And we're going to be talking with them this week and learning more about what's going on at the Chamber of Commerce. Big thank you to the Acres, Kimberly and Adam Schneckloth, for allowing me to use their bonfire area to record campfire conversations. And they have been very welcoming and very generous with their space to allow me to be able to do that. And we're still getting away with it, other than the recent one that I just released with Nikki Ferguson with Advanced Southwest Iowa Corporation. We couldn't light a fire. And as of right now, by the way, Council Bluffs is under a fire ban. So if that is not lifted, typically I record on Wednesdays out there. If that's not lifted, I won't have a fire then either, because I'm not going to take any chances. It's okay. I can still go and we can just make believe that there's a fire. But things have been so dry and warm and windy that it's a problem. And with harvest going on, that creates additional problems. And something else that they talked about with that fire ban that I saw in the press release, that if you smoke, don't throw them out. That's sometimes is all it takes, and you can spark a fire. And people can lose an awful lot because of how dry it is, and it would just move so quickly. So just be careful in the area where we live in right now, because it's very, very dry. And I think that we are expecting rain a little bit later this week, but how much, I'm not really sure. Not a meteorologist. I think I follow Jim Flowers on social media. I'm going to give him a call, see if I can get him on Campfire Conversations. That would be a fun conversation. So, Jim, if somehow you're watching, come on over, bud. We'd love to have you and talk about the weather that we've have experienced this year, and it would just be tons of fun. Once upon a time, I worked in the same building with Jim Flowers when it was all part of Journal Broadcasting, and he was the chief meteorologist for Channel 3 at the time. And I was just this poor guy doing weekend shifts on 105.9 and doing some traffic reports across all the radio stations there and that type of thing. But Jim was always very friendly to me, and made sure he smiled and said hi as he was walking by. Crazy busy man, so we never really had time to chat. But I don't know why I'm talking about Jim Flowers this morning, but a big thank you to all of our sponsors that have jumped on board, including Just Sue Creations. She's a genius when it comes to stuff online and being able to help you grow your business, whether it's working on the SEO or social media or building websites or any of this type of thing. Sue Pitts is the one that you're going to want to talk to. So go to justsuecreations.com. Set up an appointment. She'll have a consultation with you, and you'll be able to find out what it is that she can do and if she's going to be the right fit for your business. Also, a huge thank you to Foxco Fabrication. Go to foxcofab.com and learn all about everything that is going on there, from fabrication of signs. And oh, by the way, I've heard that I've got a new one coming soonish. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've seen it kind of in rough form. It's not finished yet, and I think it's crazy cool already. So he said he's going to do some more work to it. And I said, wow, that's going to be pretty neat when that thing is done. And a big thank you to George Ivanov with The Best Wrestler. If you have a young person that's interested in wrestling or is already competing, you can't do better than that wrestling club, The Best Wrestler. And it's right here in Council Bluffs. And he is helping grow young men and women into very successful adults. And that's the goal of everything that it is that he's doing. And you can watch a previous episode of Campfire Conversations with that too, and learn all about his story and him wrestling in the Olympics in Rio in 2016. And, his story with his dad and being a national wrestling coach for the country of Bulgaria. So just fascinating stories. And I am thrilled that I know this man. He's enriched my life, and I'm not even wrestling for him. Also, thank you to you for watching and for the wonderful comments. You want to know how you can help me with this? Click the share button. It's that simple. You click the share button, you click the like button. All of these algorithms, this is how it works now on social media and across on YouTube where we're at. It's not from my previous career when I was doing radio, and you may be listening, you may not. And after I've got done talking live, it's over with, and you're never going to get a chance to hear it again. This is a different beast. And that's one of the things that I really like about it, because I can go back and see my progress as this show is going to be developing. I mean, we're only in week 2. We haven't changed a whole lot yet, but that will be happening, and we'll continue to get better and better. And we will continue to have more and more people on from the community. If you know of someone, or maybe you yourself has a great story to tell, this is a great platform to be able to do it, either here or on the podcast Campfire Conversations, or maybe you'd like to talk about having your own podcast. Maybe you've got a great idea. I'd love to sit down and talk to you about that too. Just send me an email, toddstuder@gmail.com. That's the simplest way to get a hold of me. And I would love to sit down and have a conversation with you about that. So again, our guest today, Taylor Stanton, the president of the CB Captains Football Club. You can see that entire conversation and that episode of Campfire Conversations right here where you are watching this program. That's going to wrap things up this morning, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning. I'm Todd Studer. Have a great day.